Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros MLB. This is Leading Off Live, brought to you by Bet365. It's me, Joey P. That, of course, is the Welsh, and it's you, the Peanuts and the Cracker Jacks, hanging out with us right here on Leading Off on Fantasy Pros MLB channel. Don't forget, if you can't get enough of us, and I know you can't, today, after the show after the show, on our Discord, Cleaning Up will be there. So I saw a lot of people already joined last week, Welsh. And if you missed it, there was a podcast audio-only version. So if you just watch us on YouTube, you can always subscribe to the audio if you want the bonus. Let's say you actually have a job and you can't meet us after the show. It's great. We take questions from you all in the chat and live. We bring you up on the stage with us. We give you high fives. It's a beautiful thing. But Welsh, last week was very fun. Are you looking forward to being a man of the people again this Wednesday afternoon?
I am. And I am looking forward to answering every single one of your Jackson questions. Any Jacksons, all Jacksons are welcome to come on the show, and Jacksons are welcome to be brought up. It's going to be a fun time. I actually also like just like hearing people talk with us. That's like one of the coolest things. You can talk in the chat on that, but come and hang out, talk live. We'll do the podcast. Excited to talk to you guys, but boy, I am excited about today because we get to live and start in prospect land, Joe. And you know, that's my favorite.
Yes, it is. It's one of the favorites. And of course, one of our favorites here is, of course, our sponsor, Bet365. If you haven't already, sign up for Bet365. Bet $5, get 150 in bonus bets. Use that promo code leading off when you sign up there. And what Welsh is alluding to, finally, I mean, we don't have to wait that long, but still, Jeff Passan reporting the Orioles are calling up Jackson Holliday. Holliday, celebrate. Let's go. He was pretty amazing. I mean, he basically got sent down, Welsh, and was, I don't know, the hottest hitter in AAA for the most part. Him and Heston Kjerstad maybe going back and forth, but he was tremendous. It was kind of a waste of time. It's the 10th of April. I guess all is forgiven. We'll forget about it. But Jackson Holliday, from the jump, if you have him, get him in your lineup. So what are your expectations now for him? Wyatt Langford getting off to a bit of a slow start compared to how red hot he was in the spring. I bet Jackson Holliday today, just to hedge a little bit for the rookie of the year, now that he's up, taking the big number. What do you think about this Holiday premiere on, what's today? Wednesday. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, well, we used to call these Welsh Wednesdays in the CBS days when I would come on. Wednesdays, prospects would pop up, and wouldn't you know it, it happens again. There's a lot that you threw in there because, I also did the same thing to look at the odds. I just don't love the odds. I wish I could get better odds on Holiday. I think he is wide open for that race because none of those guys just ran away with it early on. So Jackson Holliday is absolutely on the board. I just have a 6-1 bet from very early on in the preseason on Wyatt Langford. So that's there. But you said something pretty critical, the expectations, because here's the problem. Of course, you're going to see this. I had a response on one of my Jackson Holliday tweets last night. First response was overhyped. And to be fair, it's kind of there, though I'm not the person who something awesome happens and then immediately you go negative on, a guy coming up, which we should be excited about. But there is an expectation thing that everybody has to also hold in because Jackson Holliday is not this like big, crazy mashing hitter, but he's one of the better contact hitters in baseball. He just left AAA with a higher walk rate than strikeout rate, under 15% strikeout rate, walked over 20% of the time. He hit 333. We saw a couple bombs, stolen bases. Boom. He was hitting off of lefties. He was doing all the stuff. So the expectation here is that we're going to probably be seeing him hit 6 or 7. We're going to hope that you start to see some of those hard hits. His average EV was really good in AAA, and he's going to be a doubles type of hitter. But what you're going to be looking for is just kind of not the email chain, but constant contact. You're not going to be looking for crazy high end counting stats right out the gates, but we also haven't seen that from a lot of the other guys. I think Holliday goes right into this mix. You want to call him overhyped or overrated or whatever you want. This was my guy. This is my number one prospect.
What he's in the order, Welsh?
They haven't announced it yet because the game is a little bit later tonight. I'm just going to throw it out. I'm going to guess it's going to be like 6 or 7. I was watching that game yesterday. I had some bets on it. People are watching. Both hit, by the way. Adley Rutschman total bases. And it's so embarrassing. Tony Kemp and Ramon Urias in that lineup, they made the switch, but they seem kind of locked in the first 5 or 6. So I'm going to guess, just off the top of my head, it's going to be 6. But I would not be shocked if you take a guy who doesn't strike out, who gets on base and you throw him right to the wolves early on, like tons of other prospects do. So if they were to do that, hitting him like 2 after Gunnar Henderson would be phenomenal, but that's where Adley goes. So that's what's kind of hard. So I'd expect 6. I'd expect runs. I'd expect a decent batting average. I think he's going to steal a bunch of bases in the majors. And I think you should be excited. And this is why I wrote in my prospect article that I thought he would come up this week. I wrote that I thought he would come up this week and that I would not drop for any circumstance, because I think he's going to be a solid fantasy asset, but a lot to be seen. You do need to temper the excitement and expectations, but I might stream this game later, Joe. I might like stream while the game is on. I'm that excited about it.
Well, I'm glad you're excited about it. I think we're all excited about it. I know Orioles fans were excited about it. Everyone who drafted it was excited. I think the expectations to temper the power expectations. Doubles, yes. Batting average, sure. Stolen bases, run productivity, all that stuff is going to be there. It's the power that I think is going to take a little bit longer, and that's fine. In points leagues, it's going to be very valuable. In head-to-head category leagues, the steals will be, the batting average, all that will be helpful. It's just the power. He's not a 30 home run guy. He's just not that guy. So you have to dial back those expectations.
Also, Baltimore got a little bit worse as far as our hitting environment goes. So that's going to like have an effect.
The power environment's not what it used to be in Camden Yards for sure. First time here for our friend Kyle. First time here live. Love the show. Kyle, we salute you. Very happy to have you here, Kyle. We love when the people for the first time join us live on the show. And if you listen, make it a point to join us live. It's fun. You get to interact. You get to leave questions here for us. Jerry's got a question. Lindor and Castellanos are killing me right now. It's not really a question. It's more of a statement. Jerry, just hold. It's April 10th. Relax. Those guys
Lindor's starting to pick up a little bit.
By the way, this is a fun one too. Jackson 5 tools. Hell or high water.
Oh, I like that. By the way, I don't know if you saw this.
Can I ask you about Tito Jackson and Jermaine Jackson later? You asked about the Jackson.
Isn't it amazing? There was a Tito baseball player. Tito was a popular name. It just doesn't, I don't see it.
Not Tito's anymore.
Yeah, where have all the Titos gone?
I love that song.
If you guys know
Lilith Fair tunes.
Lilith. You don't see them here, but I've got the Corbin Carroll autograph jersey. I have the Bobby Witt jersey. 7, Jackson Holliday planning to wear number 7. If I want to complete the true trifecta of big prospects, especially ones that I have held on to and been my number 1 prospect, I got to figure out how to get a number 7 autograph Jackson Holliday jersey so we can have the 777 slot machine behind me of rookie prospects. So I might have to reach out to our friends over at Pristine Auction to maybe help me out.
Yes, let's get some more friends. Michael C., who's a good trade target for Holliday? Now that's interesting. Let's say
what do you mean to trade away?
Yeah, like right now, like do you think like Lindor's struggling? You can't get Lindor for him, could you?
I don't think so, but a lot of people will say the best time to trade any prospect is the moment that they're called up. That little window that you have because the hype is so big. I just don't know if the hype is to that type of level. I just don't think it's worth it. I honestly don't. If you can get inside the top 75 range, maybe we could start talking and stuff like that. But I'd rather kind of just wait it out and see if like the contact gets really good. Like, what would you trade for Churio right now after you've seen Churio for quite some time? He's lived up to expectations for the most part.
He has, but with Holliday, I think his expectations were even higher, if that's possible. And it's also that thing of, oh, we wanted him so bad, and then he didn't come up right away, and now he's up 10 days later, and you have to wait a little bit while.
Look it down in the comments at Roberts. This is an interesting one. Robert
Robert
Prospero.
Prospero, my people. I got offered O'Neal Cruz for Jackson Holliday. Who would you rather have rest of season?
I would take O'Neal Cruz.
I think
I would trade my Jackson.
It depends on your roster construction. Like if your batting average stinks or whatever, and Holliday could really be a help there, I get it. But outside of that being the issue, I'm with Welsh there. But I think you get these moments here where the hype train is at its peak. We have to consider, okay, well, redraft. I have these kind of expectations. This is what the bat X. This is what ATC projections say for the kid. This is what the minor league track record is. And can I get somebody to overpay? If you can get somebody to overpay for Holliday, I would be listening. Shea Langoliers, 3 homers yesterday. Mason Miller gets a save. The A's get a win. What a beautiful day. Let's go right against them for a loss today. George Kirby, 5 runs on 8 hits, 4 innings. All right, Welsh, here we go. 11 earned runs now, 17 hits. That's the big one for me. The 17 hits and 7 2/3. I can't get past that. Kirby was your guy going into this year. So now you have to sit here and you have to advise the people what to do. Are we just going to stay pat here? Are you worried about Rest of season, is this a buy low opportunity with Kirby? I know one start we don't get too much. Now 2 starts. It's the hits that really just keep on coming that have me worried.
I think you have to Kirby your enthusiasm with George moving forward a little bit. Anybody? Hello?
Wow.
Is this on? I'm annoyed. I'm incredibly annoyed with everything.
You got kazooed on that one.
Good one. That was a good one.
I haven't kazooed yet in leading off. I have it here. I've been waiting to use it.
Well, you just did.
You got kazooed.
You kazooed me.
I kazooed you.
I will tell you this.
I'm sure that's going to be lovely for people on the audio pod today. They're going to love that moment.
I am worried about George Kirby. Sure. but I will tell you, he's still like doing the Kirby thing. Like the stuff is still there. First pitch out of the game, 97 on the paint. Bam, bam. First inning, he looked fantastic. But then he's lacking confidence. He's not fooling anybody. I put a tweet out there that it was like the slider was getting no swings outside the zone. And here's the main thing. Here's my main takeaway from George Kirby. And I think this is fixable. Is that everything is in the zone. He's such a wacko about like, I can't walk anybody. Like it's frustrating because 78% sinkers were in the zone. You can't put fastballs in the zone. So my big thesis on this is if everything is just in the zone, then hitters, they can be super picky and selective. They don't have to chase outside the zone. There's nothing that's fooling them. So what they do is they wait for the pitch that they want in the zone because it's all coming in the zone. And you can see that from performance yesterday. His slider had one whiff, and he threw 21 of them. There were a couple swings, but only one whiff through. It was not effective. The sinker, it's not a strikeout pitch. It had one whiff on 14 swings. But again, 78% in the zone. And the fastball, it kind of ticked down after the first inning or two. So I'm not sure what the fix is. I think it can happen. I'm still a psychopath and would probably buy super, super low, but I am more worried. I
have the answer. You want to hear it?
No.
Knock somebody on their rear end. Knock a few guys down.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, guys aren't looking in the zone anymore. Like, we talked about it a little bit yesterday. There you go, old man Joe yelling at the clouds, but like, it's true. The art of pitching sometimes is just as much mental as is physical. I'm not talking about like Don Drysdale trying to like take people's heads off, but I'm talking about throwing inside. I'm talking about getting some guys off the plate a little bit. You start getting if your control is so good that you can pound the zone that way, your control is so good that you can pound the inside corner a little bit, wherever the guy is, knock him off the plate, make him think twice, then pound the zone a little bit. Again, it's that intimidation factor that lacks in a lot of these pitchers. People wonder why was little Pedro Martinez so damn intimidating? Why? Because he would knock you on your rear end. And you know what? That gets in people's heads. And when you have the kind of stuff and velocity that Pedro Martinez, like he's a special talent, but there was a lot of guys out there that were effective just from the mentality standpoint. And the thing that I watched, because I caught Kirby in the third inning last night, a little bit of that game.
That's when it started getting bad.
Yeah, when it started getting bad. And that's what I saw. I saw a guy that did not have the command of the presence of the mound, not command of the fastball, not command of the presence on the mound. And that, my friends, is key. The mental part of this game, it's just as important from the pitching standpoint
and
as
I think
everything else.
He has struggles with some of the mental part of the game while also being very strong in some aspects of it, of a really smart guy. Like I would throw on
very
top of that.
Smart, but it's not about smart. It's about intimidating. It's about making the guy think twice. And I'm not trying to hurt anybody. I'm saying pitching inside. Pitching inside is a lost art form. When things are not going well, knock somebody over a little bit, move somebody off the plate a little bit. Then all of a sudden, everybody, next time they go up the bat, they're a little bit more cautious. And that's all you need to get back on track.
It's just
the command back.
And deception.
Right.
Casey Mize, my problem with Casey Mize, everyone's like, oh, the splitter. But the splitter never hit the zone. It would come out of the zone. So then hitters were just like, well, I'm just never going to swing at this. And I'm going to wait for your fastball when you're behind because you threw the splitter. Same thing kind of works with Kirby. It's throw behind. Don't be worried about walking a guy. Throw some pitches that people don't have an expectation is hitting in the zone. I think it is fixable. But sure, I'm struggling as much as anybody with Kirby. I have the highest pitcher share I have this season is George Kirby. So it's not good. It's not good. And I'm tired of the Kirby pound.
I would be trading for him. But this is easy. This is old school baseball here a little bit. And guess what? It'll work. I mean, you think Max Scherzer didn't knock guys to the ground? Of course he did. You got to take that inside play.
He should change his color eye. That's actually what he should do. He should have two different color, get a contact in.
A pirate. Here's one from Matthew CK. Should I drop Nico Horner for Jackson Holliday? Welsh.
I'd rather have Holliday. I think
it's got to be a very shallow league. I'd rather have Holliday too.
10 team.
Pick up Holliday, trade Nico. That's the path. That's what you want to do. Here's one from Kyle. Peanuts and Cracker Jacks are live today. Is MVP Trout back? He is until he gets hurt. So let's see it for 150 games, and then I will gladly say he's the MVP. Here we go.
Pretty good.
He's been pretty good. He finally drove in somebody, by the way, which was nice.
Driving in many over the wall. Well, himself.
Yeah, just basically himself. All right, all the stars were out yesterday. Jordan Alvarez, 4 for 5 with a double. He was great. Pete Alonso, 2 for 4, a double and a homer. Ronald Acuna, 2 for 3, 3 stolen bases, 3 runs there. So that was good to see. Tyler Glasnow, 7 scoreless. Struck out 14 guys. I wish we ladder bet that one. That would have been great. Evan Carter got his first homer of the day. Sonny Gray, 5 scoreless innings, striking out 5. Good return for him against the Phillies. And Cole Reagans, along with every other bet, just light on fire. I was so bad yesterday. Taking responsibility, taking the L. Things that look so good. I was 0 for 4 yesterday. Got to get back on track. Look, you said it. You were right. Astros are a tough lineup. I thought I could squeeze out 6 strikeouts. He got hit around too much. It was not meant to be. But still, we go back to business as usual. If this was in Houston, I would have been with you. But the fact that he was in his own ballpark, I thought we can get the 6, maybe even 7, but just too many hits. And unfortunately, for Cole Reagans, that's how good the Astros lineup is. Yeah,
and it's the caveat. I mean, because like I was pretty good yesterday. I was 3-1, but the one I missed was also a strikeout prop. And it was Zach Wheeler in a pretty good matchup as far as strikeouts go. And he had 107 pitches. If I would have told you he went 107 pitches against a team that strikes out in the top half of the league, you'd have been like, he'd have hit 7 Ks. He had 5. He couldn't get there. A lot of bad calls that were happening. Reagans is one of the premier strikeout guys, but the only thing that took me off, like I said, was that was a lower K, lower chase team in Houston, and he still almost got there. So the logic made sense. It was just like, ugh.
DJC says Joe chooses violence. I do. I don't choose violence, but like I've been coaching flag football now for 3+ years, youth flag football. And those games, get very intense sometimes. I always tell my kids, like, if you have to play with a certain level of intensity, like this field belongs to you and every play is going to be successful. You drop a ball, you come back for the next thing. It's the mental side of the game too. And sometimes with some of your best players where you've got to always get them refocused and you've got to think, hey, I threw a pick last time. Doesn't matter. I'm going to go out there and I got to throw this ball here and just execute next time. When I'm watching Kirby last night in that inning, I was picked it up, like I said, in the second inning into the third inning. I saw a guy who was, like you said, pounding the strike zone, but didn't have any of that stretching of the strike zone. Didn't have any of that stuff. Like Greg Maddux didn't throw that hard, but Greg Maddux would throw inside when he had to. Let's not pretend like he didn't. And I think that's just a lost form. I wish we would get back to that. And again, you don't have to throw 95 to do it to be successful. You just don't have to. It's the art of pitching. Speaking of pitching, the Athletic is reporting that Spencer Arrighetti, also my people, getting called up. The Astros, top pitching prospect, basically, that's what it is. He's 24 years old. He's got a 2.16 ERA. The whip is high, though, 1.68 so far this year. He's got 10 strikeouts in 8 innings, but he's also got 7 walks. Walks are a problem. I had people asking me questions last night. Should I pick him up? I kept saying, yeah, if you can pick him up, pick him up. If he has a good start, he becomes trade bait or whatever. It doesn't cost you anything. And if he's bad, you just cut him. What's your prospect take on Arrighetti, too, for people who think that this is a potential long-term option here, or at least patchwork option with Framber Valdez health being still uncertain?
Yeah, the team context, I think, is pretty great for the Astros in general. He's kind of like a predominant, like 3 big pitch pitcher, nice fastball, mid-90s fastball, solid curveball, sweepy slider, but command is the issue. So it's a little dicey for me, like guys that have big sweepy sweepers. When you lack command, I worry a little bit that teams are they're not going to offer at that sweeper. And then if nobody is giving you that offering, it's not going to set up the curveball better. It's not going to set up the fastball. He's going to have to hit the zone. So it's going to be one of 2 things in my mind. It's going to be guys haven't seen his stuff. And if these pitches are even hunting the zone, they're going to be swinging through trying to hit a rookie. Otherwise, if the command is really off, then he's going to get, lit up a little bit. But this is a guy. Astros do a great job in pitching development. I kind of trust it. They're bringing, even though the walks are up a little bit this year, it wasn't that big of an issue last year. I think in the right circumstance, you can do this. I think you can do this. And who are they facing today? Is it the Royals? Is that the lineup?
Yes. Yeah, the Royals against Hay.
You know what? Royals can get a little swing happy, especially on sliders. If he doesn't leave stuff in the zone, you actually might get some good swing and whiffs. I don't think it's like the worst matchup. It's something that I'd be willing to potentially stream. And if Valdez's injury is going to be long-term, I see the spaghetti. People are putting spaghetti in there. Spencer Arrighetti is going to have a good opportunity for the rest of the year. So I think he's in like streamable option. He's not like the must pick up of all pickups.
No, he's not in that Christian Javier, Hunter Brown grouping of arms. Just because your team's number one pitching prospect, again, you got to consider which guys have already moved up, what the rest of that grouping looks like. Number one doesn't mean number one on everybody's team. Just keep that in mind. Okay. Streamable, probably. Go Blue says, LOL, Joey P, aka Sun Tzu. I have read The Art of War.
I have too, actually.
It's an excellent book. You should read it. Game outside.
I've read like 5 or 6 books, and that happens to be one of them.
It's a great book. Also from the rookie lookie, Oscar Colas, 25-year-old, had some issues last year a little bit, batting .321. He's going to get a call for Washington. And Nolan Chanel, 0 for 4, 2 strikeouts. Doesn't look great. What are your thoughts on him maybe losing playing time to Drury or Sano?
No, I don't think so. I mean, he's also coming off of a 30-game on-base streak. He's a big contact hitter. Finally got the ball in the air a little bit. Like, he doesn't have the traditions. I always think of like James Loney whenever I think of a first baseman who hits like 15 homers and is a higher contact guy.
There's a name I haven't thought about. Now I know how Obi-Wan Kenobi felt in Star Wars in episode 4. There's a name I've not thought about in quite some time.
I think he's fine. I think he'll just move down in the lineup. He's not going anywhere, but I think he can regain that through. And he's still a rookie. Remember this time last year, this guy was hitting in college baseball. That's how quick he moved. He literally played like a month in the minor leagues and came up to the majors. So I think he's going to have a pretty good runway.
All right. Philip has asked us like 3 times. What do I do with Rengifo?
I don't know. What can you do? You could probably move on. I don't think Rengifo is a must-have or anything like that. Pending your league, pending what's out there, you could probably easily move on. He is proven to at best be a streamable option right now. He hasn't hung anything long-term. It's disappointing, but yeah, you can move on if there's decent options on the wire.
Is Colas a pickup for you?
Not really. I'm not a big Oscar Colas guy. It's nice to see in the minors he was hitting pretty well. I will say maybe the most encouraging thing is the strikeout numbers dramatically down in that short stint, 12% in AAA. That's a huge.
Well, playing time is going to be available for him. I mean,
yeah.
It's not like
but they do have
healthy there.
They got a lot of guys. I mean, you know what though? I say like they got a lot of minor league guys, but they got no major league players anymore. It's Eloy's hurt and Robert's hurt, and they're all down. Some combo of like Dominic Fletcher and all of them. Yeah, maybe not like a deep league, but I'm probably just paying attention to Colas than I am picking him up.
All right, fair enough there. Let's get to 3 up and 3 down from yesterday. Of course, Chris Morel, 2 for 4 grand slam. Good day for him. Merle.
So good.
How about Merle? Is Merle Kelly like, I call him Merle because it's funny.
I know, because we do Merle
because that's what we do. So people turning in the first time going, what is he saying? It's Merle Kelly, but we call him Merle around these parts.
Did you know I found out Merle went to my high school? Did I tell you that?
No. Did he read any books there or no?
Probably read a lot more than me. Maybe.
I mean, the bar's pretty low. Merrill Kelly, 6 innings, 2 runs. I mean, again, I know it's the Rockies, but still, he's like one of these great underrated players every season. These last 3 years, I feel like Kelly's just been this guy, just goes out there, has good starts, and nobody cares. I care, but like nobody seems to really give him the credit he deserves. This is the guy that I almost picked yesterday, and I'm mad now because he got 8 strikeouts. Nady Eovaldi, 8 Ks, 1 earned, 5 2/3 against the A's. Unfortunately, got no decision, but still a very good start. Ha-Seong Kim, not a good day at the plate. The hat trick, 3 strikeouts, 0 for against the Cubs on Tuesday. Louis Varland gave up 7 hits, 6 earned over 5 in a loss to the Dodgers. So we'll give him a pass because it's the Dodgers, but again, not the best start. And Logan Allen, 5 runs, 7 hits, 4 innings, no decision against the White Sox. So not always the best of times there necessarily, but it is the best of times around here because we're giving away free stuff. Jose Ramirez autographed jersey for you. You can wear it. You can put it on your wall. You can give it to a friend. You can give it to your mama for Mother's Day if you want. Mom's a big Jose Ramirez fan. Boom. You give it to her. This is what you do. You subscribe to the Fantasy Pros MLB channel. You comment below in the video. That's it. And don't forget to ring the bell for notifications so you know every time a piece of content drops here on our channel. Jose Ramirez, we just gave away the big bad trophy yesterday. Jose Ramirez jersey next. Who knows what's after that? Injuries. Oh, that'd be nice.
We should. I know.
That would be nice. And you would want to win that so you can get all your sevens.
I would.
JT Realmuto, day to day with a neck contusion. Just a light day for injuries, which is nice for a change. Moncada removed yesterday, an abductor strain. Max Scherzer, live hitters, progressing now. I say we get Scherzer back before Memorial Day. What do you think?
When is Memorial Day?
The last weekend in May. He's supposed to be back June 1st. I say we get him before Memorial Day. Yeah, that guy's nuts.
Yeah, no, I told you in spring, one of those things, he was throwing full field tosses where DeGrom was like, like he looked great. He looked spry. He looked healthy. Arm was flinging. I think he's going to be back in mid-May. And I think they've said as much. I think they said mid-May is going to be the target date. I believe it. They're going to want it. When you got guys like John Gray in that rotation, getting Max Scherzer back, with haste is important.
Here's an interesting one. Here we go. Kyle, talking about Trout to the Orioles. That was a conversation we were having last week.
That was your thing.
It was my thing. I mean, if he keeps playing like this, if you're the Orioles, you've got so much depth to make this move. I mean, I'd love it. I think that's your all-in move if you're the Orioles, right?
Yeah, I don't know what the
Burns. Why not?
I don't know what the move looks like, though. Colton Cowser, by the way, I tweeted about this. Colton Cowser is on the uptick. If you're in, I liken it like 10-team leagues are kind of tough, maybe even some 12s. But I'll tell you, man, if you have the ability to pick up Colton Cowser, he is playing against righties right now. Crushed 2 doubles yesterday. He's getting more playing time as Austin Hayes struggles. I am all about Colton Cowser. All of this to say, like, if you were theoretically to put like a Mike Trout in a lineup that's got, Mullins and Cowser, and then you got Santander that's maybe DHing. I mean, it would be a crazy, crazy path. We'll look back and be like, can you believe Austin Hayes, Ramon Urias, and Jorge Mateo were in the lineup? And now we've got Trout and Jackson Holliday. Like they could do some stuff. I just don't know if they'll feel the need to push out.
I think pitching's more the need probably, but man, what a luxury to have. Like, also to have a veteran guy out there too. I just want to see Mike Trout. First of all, I want to see him on the East Coast. Second of all, I want to see him in the playoffs. Like, that's all I want. I want Mike Trout to be in the playoffs. It's very frustrating. By the way, you know what else I want? Again, this is old Joe for a moment. What? The new jerseys. Am I the only person who thinks it's hard to see the names on the back of the jerseys, like on TV?
That's all that people are tweeting about. Is just what trash garbage these jerseys.
There's a great video. They're hard to see, and I don't have problems seeing. Like, I don't. So I don't. They're very tough on television. Maybe not in person, but on TV.
Everybody hates them. There's a great video that's out there of Carlos Estevez, closer for the Angels, who was like, I don't know where, like outside the stadium or something, signing for tons of people. And someone hands him a jersey, and it's the old jerseys. And he looks at it and he goes, oh. And he pulls the jersey up and he turns around to show his garbage jersey. And everybody is just crapping on the jersey at the time. And even Estevez just misses the old jerseys. So
I know everybody's been complaining about the new jerseys and like how the see-through and the sweat, like all that. But it's really the names on the back to me that are the most offensive. Like, that's, by the way, really hard.
I just want to point out, we're all sitting here and we're like, baseball's got to figure out how to change the arm issues and blah, blah, blah. They can't even figure out the jerseys. Everyone has screamed about it for 2 or 3 months. They could make a change. And what are they doing? They're just like, no, Fanatics got this taken care of. Like, they're just digging into an issue that everybody is screaming about. And we think they're going to change like a big issue. There's no chance. No chance.
Wonky says she got a free t-shirt with my name on the back for collecting Cheerios box tops when I was 8. And it looked better than these jerseys. I'd like to see that. So, Kelly, next time we're on the team trip, you got to wear the Cheerio shirt. That's what I'm saying.
Wear the 8-year-old Cheerio jersey.
JD Martinez shut down for the next 3 to 5 days. A cortisone shot in his lower back. That sounds great. Yohan Duran aiming to progress, throwing a bullpen session on Friday. So that's good news for the Twinkies. Welsh yesterday was bad. Bad. Today can only be better. So let's turn the page for a new day. Yes, it is. For Wednesday's best bets
of the day
with Joey P and the Welsh. All right. Yesterday, bad news. No good. So we got to get back to basics here. You were good. I was dreadful. Bobby Miller, let's start there. Over 6.5 strikeouts, minus 130. The juice is a lot, but Bobby Miller has been great. It's a great matchup, too. You saw 14 strikeouts yesterday for Glasnow. I think that trend continues here for Bobby Miller today. Aaron Nola, over 5.5 Ks, minus 113. I like that one, too. St. Louis strikes out a ton. Also, Jordan Hicks, just 4.5. It's a low number, so over on him. Again, the juice is a lot at 145. So minus 145, you want to pair it with something else, maybe a San Fran win, do a little same-game parlay action. That will help this out just a tad. And if you want to get some fun here for a little parlay of the day, take the over on Aaron Nola Ks, which is my favorite, at 5.5. Take the Texas Rangers on the money line on the run line at minus 1.5. You get plus 112 on that. And the Cleveland Guardians run line at minus 1.5 and minus 108. So Nola Ks, the 1.5 Rangers, the 1.5 Guardians, you get plus 669. That is a good return on a day's work, and that's going to get me back in the black. That's where I want to be. All right, so let's go to you here, Welsh. What do you have for the people on Wednesday from the betting standpoint?
I 100% jumped into your Bobby Miller one. That was the first thing before I looked at our sheet. Anything I saw Bobby Miller, I saw the 6.5. Maybe it feels like a lot. I jumped right on it. So this is only for the live show people. Anybody listening on the podcast, this game is early. It's happening in like 5 minutes as we're recording this. So this is the early people. Minnesota, worst K percentage in baseball. So that's why I'm playing it. Not worried about that one bad start. So ones that you can play into: Seattle, Toronto, first 5. And I'm going with total runs 4.5. And this is the under. So under 4.5 runs to be scored through the first 5 innings of Seattle and Toronto. Why? Seattle is scoring the second least runs through the first 5 this year, and Toronto is scoring the 9th least. They are combined averaging just over 3 runs per game through the first 5. You got Logan Gilbert and Yusei Kikuchi, so I'm down with that one. That's one of my my favorite bets of the day, and I'm also going with the Yankees minus 1.5 versus the Marlins. Marcus Stroman has been good. Ryan Weathers, who I picked last week in a K prop, was so inconsistent that I think this team, Yankees, hit his lefties better than righties. I think they're going to be able to get to him today. Like when he was throwing this sweeper into the ground or just flying, doesn't hit the zone, I think this team is going to be more patient. I think they're going to bang him around. Offense is going to get going. So I like the Yankees minus 1.5 on the run line with them other twos. First 5 under, and Bobby Miller on the strikeouts, baby.
There you have it, everybody. Make sure when you place your wagers, you do it with Bet365. Bet $5. Get 150 in bonus bets when you use that promo code leading off. So make sure that you do. And of course, bet responsibly. Welsh, let's continue on to the home run contest. And reminder, everybody who's watching live now, if you want some extra leading off, it's called Cleaning Up, and it's on our Discord, fantasypros.com/chat. That's the place to go. You got to go there, join. You'll see in there Cleaning Up. You can get in there, ask us questions, hang out with us, talk a little baseball.
Look at that. Julio looks so happy. He's so excited for Cleaning Up. He's like, come on, everybody.
I saw Julio get a hit last night in that game, too. I couldn't watch that game very long because I couldn't listen to Buck Martinez. Like, it was just making my ears hurt. I just couldn't do it. No offense to Buck. He's great at what he does. It's just not
no offense, but I hate your voice and I can't listen to you.
I just can't. Look, not everything is for everyone. I'm not going to say he's bad at his job because he's not. He's great at his job. I just don't find it enjoyable, and that's okay. We're allowed to like different things. I don't like green beans. Welsh loves them. Can't get enough of the green beans. Loves green beans.
I don't like pickles.
There you go. I don't like pickles either.
There you go. Well, look at that. We came together.
You know what's controversial? Nothing about this board because I'm at the top of it still. Gross. Where is everybody? I can't see you down at the bottom of that board. I didn't get a home run from Soto yesterday, although Juan Soto, worlds colliding. Soto, Aaron Judge taking pictures with Damian Priest from WWE yesterday at the ballpark. Oh. Very fun stuff going on. All my worlds coming together.
Next thing you know, it's going to be Joe and Soto. That'll be
there. You go. I mean, he's always been my guy. Today I'm going with Ellie De La Cruz. Let's go. Going yard today, maybe inside the park again. Who knows? Some way I'm getting a homer for Ellie. Where are you going with your home run call today, Welsh?
I'm going to go to my Arizona Diamondbacks, and I'm going to go to Christian Walker, who loves hitting in Colorado. Austin Gomber also loves giving up some home runs. Tons of runs scored there. Christian Walker hasn't really gotten going big in this series, and I think this will be the one. So Christian Walker against Austin Gomber for my home run call today. I suck, though, so don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm doing. Bad home run calls. Only listen to Joe. I don't know if I'll ever get another home run again.
Well, I'm kind of mad that I didn't get the Soto Monday one because I was out. So it was kind of the long weekend for me, but whatever. That's fine. It's good. It's fine. Here's a great question to end the show. Better buy low. This is from Zep Junkie. Castillo, Kirby, Max Fried. I'm going with Castillo because I think he's still the best pitcher of these three. But Welsh, maybe you have a different answer.
That's my order, but I think it's also dependent on the cost. So if like Castillo costs exceptionally more than Kirby and Fried, then it might be Kirby. Because I think what we talked about with Kirby is fixable. Luis Castillo definitely has good stuff, but he is off right now as well. So I think it's going to be dependent on what you have to give to get. But that is the order of like how if someone said, I want this thing, and you can have either one of these three, I'd pick Castillo at the top. But what the return is important.
Here's one. This is Ivan Torres traded Houck and Hader for Castillo. Did I get fleeced? I don't think so. If Castillo bounces back to his level, that's great because there are still guys. Look, the Detroit closer is still only 70% rostered. I saw that. Like, how is that still going on? Like, there's still guys out there. There's still going to be saves to be found. Hader's elite at what he does, but still. Speaking of closers, too, Kopech, Mason Miller, all the saves yesterday. Casey's right on it, and we were on it, too.
We've had a lot of closer questions coming up, and here's what I would say. FantasyPros.com/cleaning up. Right after this, we could talk closers, we could talk more trades, and we could talk with you about all of those awesome things because we have had so many closer questions. So come in, FantasyPros.com/cleaning up.
There you go. Follow that. And by the way, I guess I did get the Juan Soto homer. So thank you, Fred Dinger, because Freddie's running some stuff for us now, working for us behind the scenes. That's what happens. You hang out in the chat. Next thing you know, you get a job here. What happened to Wonky, Fred Dinger? I mean, just hang out with us long enough and, eventually you just end up working for us. But this has been super fun. We want to continue it again. As Welsh said, join the chat on Discord. We're going to be there for the next half hour, chatting it up. So join us for that. And join us again tomorrow for more leading off. That'll do it for us. But the story of the game goes on for the Welsh. I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids.
Holiday.